Raise your flag 声の限り声の限り声の限り叫んできっといつかどこか夢を見続けさまよ勝ち取りたいものもない無力なばかりはなれないそれで君はいいんだよキリキリと生き様がそのためにしていれる何かを王の時代に叩きつけてやれ
This is Billcasters, the Gundam podcast that puts the blood clot in iron-blooded orphans. I'm the Macabre Chap, and I'm joined by...
Your boy, Sentai 5, the Gundam Meister of Celestial Being.
And...
I'm Lita, known as Lita Kino on the interwebs. I'm a blogger slash YouTuber, and I do way too many things on the interwebs, as everybody knows me. Oh yeah, and I'm a hardcore Sailor Jupiter fangirl. Everybody knows me for, so yeah.
Everybody loves Sailor Moon. Everybody.
Who doesn't?
Exactly. So, before we do the news, Lita, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yes.
Like, how did you get into Gundam and anime in general? Like, why do you love this weeb shit?
Why do I love this weeb shit? I think we've all gone through the weeb stage of things. So, like for many, as the common story goes, I was into like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, but my very first anime I ever watched was Beyblade. You know those spinning tops, and then those celestial beasts just come out of there. You know,
Rip.
Exactly. I used to record all the episodes on this one VHS tape, which is like yonks old now. Nobody talks of VHS tapes now. And I used to record numerous episodes every Saturday morning, and that'd be like the one thing I'd live for in my childhood, reliving that tape. But honestly, when I was 15, I moved countries. I moved to Australia. And
where'd you move from originally?
The UK.
Oh, so you're from the UK as well? What part?
Yes, I am. I was in a place called Warwickshire.
Oh, okay, that's in the Midlands. I know where that is. I'm in London.
Yes,
as you could probably tell from my accent. But yeah, cool.
Yes, you have a very London accent. It's all right. I thought I did mention before to you guys that I was from London. I mean, from the UK.
No, I don't think you did.
My bad.
You only mentioned that sometimes your accent comes off as British to people. You never told us you're from the UK.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, I think I'm just so used to people assuming that I'm from the UK. I haven't had anybody think that I'm like Aussie. So
I thought you were Aussie.
Yeah, I thought you were Aussie too. I don't think I've caught up all the Aussie slang, to be honest. I don't think. But it wasn't until I moved here that I really got into the anime scene here. I met my friend, my best friend at the time, and she got me into titles like Inuyasha. She got me into like Sailor Moon. I finally got to see all of Sailor Moon. That's when all this Jupiter escapade started years later. Look at me. Do not name your channel and your blog after your favorite anime character, because people just know you for it now. So it's very true. And I'm just somebody that really cannot live without anime, to be honest. And how I ended up getting into the mecha scene and eventually the Gundam scene, one of the very first mechas I ever watched or based upon that was the Vision of Escaflowne, the 90s series.
Yes.
I forgot about that show.
Yes, it is one of my all-time favorite shows ever. I've watched it at least over 25 times, to be exact.
I remember that on Fox Kids at one point.
Yeah. The dub used to air on Fox Kids as well, over here as well in the UK. So yeah.
I remember that.
We didn't. I can't remember watching Fox Kids, to be honest.
Oh damn.
No, I mean, like in the UK, there was like the series, or the TV show, kids show called Milkshake, where they would like
on Channel 5. On Channel 5.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yes, that was where I could. That's where I could only watch like series like Beyblade and Digimon, those types of shows, and obviously Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, the Vision of Escaflowne, it had me interested that the show was there was like fighting, war, and then there was like a love triangle going on, and somehow I got attracted to these themes intertwined together, and that is when
They do.
Yes, as you do. Well, I know there's a lot more male fans of Gundam. I thought way back then, because no, we're not a lot of females that are a fan of Gundam. Obviously now I found a whole harvest full of female fans
Good.
of Gundam.
Send them our way.
Yes, I can. I know several, and they'll probably be happy listening to this. To be honest, they will.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
That's awesome.
I mean, like the Gundam fandom is a sausage fest. So any like
it is.
Yeah, we need some females here.
Oh, not just women, but like any diversity within it, like LGBT folks, whatever, because it is very straight, white, and male. So yeah.
It is. I think it's just the way it is. Obviously, the idea of mechas fighting or robots fighting with a very complicated plot does not appeal to a lot of non-mecha fans. Right. And that is something I've seen over the years. I have. And it wasn't until through blogging that I met certain individuals that were a fan of Gundam, which was totally surprised me. But the very first Gundam I ever watched obviously was Gundam Wing, but this is going back like a decade, 10 years ago. Nice. My memories of it, I only remember so much of it. I really need to revisit it. I do own it. I just not have gone to rewatch it. I haven't yet. I cannot forget that scene with Hero tearing up that invitation in front of that bitch face, Blondie. Relina.
I'll kill you.
Oh my god, just if that honestly, I have a fellow female friend called Gigi's Anime Palooza, and she was never interested in fighting robots anything. And it wasn't until she saw this scene is when she decided that she would give Gundam Wing a go, and she was like, this is such a trash fest. I love this. That was all the convincing, just that scene alone. So
yeah, that scene was like very overly dramatic.
Oh, I know. For its time. Definitely for its time period.
Definitely.
When I saw Gundam Wing, after that, I hadn't revisited Gundam in about a decade. And then it wasn't until I came here, and then my next really first one was Gundam Seed Destiny. Now, I know how you two feel about this already. Listening to your podcast with David.
Yes, Seed Destiny. I don't know. I'm not overly fond of Seed Destiny.
Yes, well, it was like it breathed for me. It brought new life to my love of Gundam in general. Now, I had no idea at the time when watching it that you're supposed to watch Gundam Seed before you watch Destiny.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it in the correct order, quote. And then yeah, and then it was after that I got into seeing titles like obviously I watched Gundam Seed, that was a favorite, and I've seen I'm Blooded Orphans,
yes,
as well. So honestly, those were, and obviously Gundam 00. Eventually, a lot of people were egging me on to watch 00, and
it's a good show.
It's a great show.
Yes, I recently did a podcast with some fellow people who are a fan of that on my channel, which was a lot of fun.
It was a good episode. I listened to it. It was pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
I must check your channel out.
My channel is I'm a failure at uploading on a regular basis, so it's whatever comes out of the cooker, really.
Yeah, whenever you have the time.
Yes, whenever I have the time. But it's only now from meeting certain people in the communities that I like being in that I've really wanted to delve out to watch other older Gundams. Like right now, I promised the group that I did the Gundam Double O podcast with, our next one we wanted to cover was War in the Pocket.
Oh,
So
that's a good one.
Yeah, so that was the next one I was going to watch. And Gundam Unicorn was another one I started just recently.
You started that?
Yes, not the new series, not the newer version. It's the OVA, the OVA, right? Episode.
Yeah. I never watched the TV version of it because I was like, this is kind of redundant.
Can I just say something first?
Yeah.
Watch Zeta before you finish Unicorn, please, because Unicorn spoils Zeta.
And Char's counterattack as well.
And Char's counterattack as well.
You have to watch Char's counterattack at least.
Please.
Okay. I'll have to add.
Heavily. I'm serious. You really will.
And also, don't watch narrative until you've finished Unicorn.
Right, exactly.
You sound just as enthusiastic as David is about Double O. Don't worry, that's a good thing.
I can't wait for narrative. I'm actually kind of excited.
Oh, I would be too. But I know that in our Gundam news that you guys are going to be covering, there's one part of the news that is related to Gundam Unicorn. I believe it is. It's a continuing. I believe yes. Narrative.
Yeah. We'll come on to that in a minute, but please continue.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was just honestly about finished. I was, in how I got into Gundam, honestly. But I guess the last thing I'll say is, we just need more females, more female fans. Always. We do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
110%. Couldn't agree. Couldn't agree more. So now that you finished introducing yourself, and thank you for letting us know about how you got into Gundam, the next thing we're going to go on to is the news. So, Fives, what's the first news item?
Okay, just as we mentioned before, Mobile Suit Gundam Narrative released a new teaser trailer, and in addition to this, a new poster for the movie has been released, which features the main characters in a rather unusual or arguably ridiculous pose. This absurd pose has caused the poster to go pretty viral and has birthed a crap ton of memes, which are rather hilarious to poke fun at. I'm not gonna lie, I saw some pretty good ones over the past few weeks. Yeah. They did I think they did an Amuro and Char one.
Yeah.
I lost my I just bursted out laughing. They did some Kamen Rider ones also.
Yeah, I saw those. I was at work and I was cackling like a banshee. I got in so much trouble.
I think they might have done a Sentai one floating around on Twitter. I forget.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I saw some Kamen Rider ones.
Okay, cool. That sounds dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the teaser?
Yeah. I saw the teaser. It looks pretty good. The new key art for the narrative Gundam looks pretty nice. I can't remember the name of the mecha designer who did this one, but I know the original design for the narrative was done by the god Hajime Katoki. Yeah, but the teaser looks alright. It's piqued my interest, but I gotta finish Unicorn first, obviously. Which means I've got to go through.
I think I'm about the same as you. Yeah. I have to finish Unicorn, but any new Gundam series is just always a good thing to me. So
yeah, I agree.
Not unless it's Build Divers, but that's a different discussion for a different day. That's a different discussion for a different day. We'll come on to that.
Just a void.
Build Divers is trash, man. It's really, really bad.
I've never delved into Build Divers, so I'll have to be careful.
Don't watch it. It's a waste of your time. Go and watch Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. Build Fighters has been mentioned to me countless times.
Yeah, you need to watch it. It's so dope. It's a massive toy commercial, but it's a toy commercial with heart.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of heart to it. It will make you cry.
Oh well, I'm a crybaby, so probably won't take much.
Yeah.
So next on the news, a stop motion animator by the name of Rihito Ue has created a bunch of rather rad stop motion videos using Gunpla, which have gone viral, it seems. Check them out if you get the chance. And his channel is just Rihito Ue. So that's ITO, and then UE. So yeah, check it out. Like, I've had a look through the channel, and the stuff is actually pretty great. Have you had a chance to have a look at Hit Fives?
I have not actually. Maybe I have. I just didn't know the name because that's usually like what happens with me when I check out stuff.
Okay.
Let me
Lita,
check them out real quick. Right.
you had a look?
Yes, I did have a look. It was so clever. I absolutely loved it. I did actually go through most of his channel and watch a few of them when I had a moment. Very, very good. Should definitely check it out. I love seeing creative things like that people do, especially with Gunpla.
Yeah.
It's shameful to say I've never built a Gunpla yet.
Ooh,
I'm planning my first one right now. My first one I planned is to be Arbalest from Full Metal Panic.
Okay, cool.
Full Metal Panic's my jam. I absolutely love the franchise. So yes, Arbalest will be my first one. It will. So I like that there's no glue involved, and I thought you had to use glue and stuff. I thought it was going to be messy, but no. Apparently, it's just joining up joints and
Pretty
heads and legs.
I mean, you need nippers to nip the plastic out of the frame, and you need files to file down the nubs. But other than that, you can do a straight build. It's not that big a deal. Some more experienced Gunpla builders go into panel lining and painting and doing top coats and all sorts of business.
They weather their stuff sometimes.
Yeah, they were Gunpla building is serious business. Some people take it way too seriously. Yeah, it is an art in and of itself. But
I've seen that firsthand. That a lot of people do take it seriously.
Yeah,
they do, but
especially a lot of dude bros. So, I've seen them. I've seen them criticizing female Gunpla builders, and it's just dude, stop gatekeeping, man. It's not that big a deal. It's a plastic model kit. chill out, bruh.
I have to admit, I'm a straight build kind of guy. I'll color in, I'll paint in some stuff here and there, but I hardly panel line because I'm just too lazy.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's a big yikes.
You sound too lazy, Sentai. You couldn't even watch the stop motion video.
Yeah.
Joking. Don't worry.
So, next bit of news. We have some Gunpla releases. So, Fives, want to take us through the Gunpla releases?
All right. We have a few upcoming high-grade build divers releases. We have the HGBD 1-144 GBN guard frame, and it's at 1,600 yen. I mean, it's a basic suit. There's nothing really. There's nothing much to it.
It looks pretty cool.
Probably,
I'm not
probably
sure.
Good for modding purposes.
Yeah, that would be pretty great to turn into a custom creation or something, like Kit Bash with parts from different with other different Gunpla, and turn it into something original.
A Leo suit.
Yeah,
almost,
I
right?
think it is. I'm not sure what it's based on, but it might be based on
off
Leo.
the same mold. Yeah.
Yeah. What you mean the recently released
Yes, sir.
the HGAC Leo, which has been getting rave reviews absolutely everywhere because it's cheap and has great articulation.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm surprised. A little mobile suit like that for I don't know, $8-9. That's crazy articulation.
Yeah. So the next release is the HGBD 1144 Gundam Shining Break, which will be released in December 18, and that will be priced at 1,800 yen. So a little bit of background: Gundam Shining Break is the main mobile suit in the Build Divers spin-off manga Gundam Build Divers Break, which I haven't had the opportunity to read yet, but the design itself is dope. I have a thing for transforming mecha already, and they took Shining Gundam from G Gundam and turned it into a transforming mecha. So
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. It is a pretty cool concept. So it looks like it's got elements of Kyrios and Wing Gundam as well. So that's an instant cop for me. I'll just throw money at it.
I'm kind of iffy on the mobile armor mode, but I think after I see reviews, it's gonna make me want to get it more. So
you don't like the MA mode, the flight mode?
I'm indifferent about it. I kind of like it, but then something about it just I don't know.
It's kind of off to you.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I like how the feet are transformed sideways though. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of these Gunpla Lita? And if so, what did you think?
No, this is like I said before, I've really didn't really know anything about Gunpla. This is really new for me. I liked the look of the previous one, and these are from series I've not seen yet. Obviously this is from Gundam Build Divers, which you just talked about just then. I love the look of this. It definitely reminds me a mixture of the Wing and the Freedom in a way. It does. I like
Yeah.
how the legs are going out like sideways and that. I think it's just very cool. So this is like fascinating to me. So it's fascinating to listen to you guys as well. So
Oh yeah, we love transformable Gundams.
Yeah.
Or any kind of mobile suits.
That's probably
no,
I was just going to say the fact that we love transformable Gundams or mobile suits probably comes from the fact that we're Tokusatsu fans, and obviously there's lots of transformable mecha in Super Sentai and Power Rangers. So yeah.
Yeah. You give me a transformable mobile suit, I'm there. Like that's like the coolest thing ever.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you own a lot of them yourselves?
Yes I do. I have a little too much for it, to the point where like I can't even like display them anymore.
Yeah,
you should post a picture on Twitter.
He should do.
Oh, definitely will. I'll tag you in it.
All of my Gunpla are in my loft, what we call the loft, what you in America in Eagle Land call the attic. So I've got a bunch of them just on shelves in the attic, and yeah, I'm not going up there because I'm not gonna suffocate on dust particles.
Attic sounds more like you don't want to go up there.
yeah.
Whereas the loft it sounds like a hideaway. Where like come see my
Sounds
loft.
peaceful.
It's cool.
So yeah, there's a couple more releases that we're just gonna like speed through. So we've got the SDCS, so that's SD Gundam Cross Silhouette, Gundam 03 Phoenix Destroy Mode narrative version. That releases in December 18 for 1,200 yen. We've got the SDCS Unicorn Gundam 02 Banshee, which is obviously the same mold as the Phoenix, just modified slightly.
My God, they're so tiny. Obviously, this is a female thing I'm going to say, but they're so cute. I love the gold.
SD Gundams are dope. I mean, I like SD Gundams. I know a lot of like serious Gunpla guys don't really like them, but I actually really do like SD Gundams, and I will be investing in the Cross Silhouette line as soon as I can clear some space in my room for more Gunpla.
I would too. It's very different to any of the other Gunpla I've ever seen. There's so many. I reckon I've seen this one before because the anime store that's in my city. I reckon they have it. They sell so much Gunpla. It's like a whole section just dedicated to Gunpla. So I reckon any of these would be there, to be honest. They always have the latest ones. They do, so.
Cool. So I think I said Banshee, TBA. Release date is TBA and price is TBA. And obviously they're also releasing the SDCS RX-0 Unicorn Gundam, which is obviously the same mold as the other two. And that'll be released TBA and price TBA. And then there's a couple of other upcoming releases. We got the 1144 RG Full Armor Unicorn Gundam, which releases in December 18. And that'll be priced at 5,400 yen. I'm buying this. Like, have you seen it, Fives?
I have, and it looks very nice.
Jesus, it looks massive. Massive.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the build time's probably gonna be a lot, and I'm probably gonna paint it as well. More than likely, if I do get it, I'll get like an airbrush. I'm gonna airbrush it and then obviously apply top coat.
Move.
So yeah. And then there's the HGUC DJ, I think that's pronounced. DJ, and I don't know where that suit's from. That released in December 18, and that's priced at 1,900 yen. So some final thoughts on the last couple of releases, guys.
I guess the Full Armor Unicorn Gundam is like the real kicker right there.
Yes, I agree. And this Deja one, it says it's from Zeta Gundam. It says.
Yeah, it looks like a Zeta suit.
Yeah, because I haven't seen Zeta yet. So yeah.
No, I haven't seen Zeta.
It looks like it belongs to the Titans, for sure.
I really like the one I honestly like the gold one. I like that
the Phoenix. One. Yeah, it's nice.
Yes, the Phoenix one. That's probably been my favorite.
It's a lovely suit.
but I like all of them. I'm someone that's not very like picky with that sort of thing. I'm not so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Just
for
have
me,
all of them really.
See,
Wouldn't that be
Gunpla,
the perfect world?
Gunpla are designed to make people broke, essentially. Like
I know.
they are they are.
I know it's like being an anime collector. Give you all these limited editions. Oh, my
Yeah.
wallet.
Special collector's edition.
Oh no, I avoid all the special collector's editions, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, I don't tend to buy anime DVDs that often. I've got a Netflix subscription, so I stream what I can. But I have been known to use illegal streaming sites. But you should support the official releases.
Official releases.
You should do. Don't be a pirate like me. Arr, don't do that. Don't do that.
Wait, what's a pirate?
What's So, before we go on to Iron Blooded Orphans, I just wanted to say something about Gundam Breaker 3. So, as I discussed originally on episode 1, I said I was going to get a PlayStation 4 and New Gundam Breaker. New Gundam Breaker ended up being obviously terrible and slated critically, so I got a PlayStation 4 and I imported Gundam Breaker 3 Break Edition. That includes all the DLC from Asia, and I've just got to say it's the best Gundam game I've ever played. Customization options out the wazoo. The gameplay is a little bit like Dynasty Warriors, like it's a hack and slash game like that. Like the combat system's great. The camera's a little bit iffy, but yeah. And as you've seen on the Buildcaster's account, I have been posting pictures of my build, which is named, obviously...
You've been having a lot of fun.
Which, yeah, way too much fun. Which is obviously named Gundam Buildcaster after a certain little podcast that I present. So, now that have any of you guys ever played any of the Gundam Breaker games? Or not really?
I've only played the first one, that was it.
Was that on PlayStation 3?
Never.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, you own the first one?
No, I don't. I've played it, though.
Oh, okay, cool. How did you feel about it?
I liked it. It was a cool concept. It was around the same time, Build Fighters came out too, so it kind of just like worked.
Yeah, the Gundam Breaker series, or especially this one, is basically Gundam Build Fighters, the game. I don't know why they don't just because obviously the story mode.
Build Fighters.
Yeah, the story mode has visual novel elements, obviously, but I don't understand why they didn't just make it into a Build Fighters game. Like, imagine you could
play as Sei and Reiji.
Yeah, and like the combat. Like, obviously, you go through levels by yourself, but there are combat levels that are 3-on-3, which is just like the battle system from Build Fighters Try. So, like, that would be so sick. Cool. But yeah, they should just throw in or even make it DLC or something. I'd pay for that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, sorry about sidetracking you guys. With
no, it's fine.
While I was eulogizing Gundam Breaker 3, and we're gonna now tackle the main topic, the emotional fuck shit that is Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, or Gundam Tekketsu no Orphans. So, Fives or Lita, want to start us off just by giving us like a little outline about the plot? You can do season 1 and season 2 if you want to, and then we'll obviously go in and discuss the characters, etc.
These boys from Mars getting treated rough because they're trying to make a way of life, get pulled into this conflict, and at least in season 1 they have to get what's her face, Kudelia, to Earth, and then she's got to do her old peacekeeping stuff against Galahorn, and along the way they get some Gundam frame suit. What do they call them? Yeah, they call them Gundam frames, right?
I need to call it Barbatos. Yeah, like the different Gundam frames that they had from the Calamity War.
Yeah, they're called Gundam frames, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to get that right. And so basically season 1 is just Tekkadan. Do they call it Tekkadan in the US dub?
Yeah, they do call it.
Tekkadan.
Yeah, Tekkadan on the US dub, yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I'm just going by how they say it in Japanese. Yeah, so they pretty much make their own alliances, and they try to evade Galahorn, and they go into conflict with them on the way to Earth, pretty much. So that's season 1 story, and then season 2, there's a lot that happens, I guess. I forget how many years between,
it's a
or
2-year
how many
time
months.
Skip. So
2-year time skip.
So season 1 takes place in post-disaster 323, and season 2 takes place in post-disaster 325.
Perfect. So season 2 was like Tekkadan has become pretty much a legit organization now.
Yeah, like
they've been
they've become like a
been
legit
seen to,
company.
Yeah, and they still face troubles against Gallahorn now, and pretty much they're getting picked off one by one towards the end, and it becomes super super emotional the last few episodes. Like, damn, I can't even explain. So there we go for that part.
Yeah, well, like they establish an Earth branch of Tekkadan at the beginning of season 2, and then like they back up Makanai, the Prime Minister of Arbrow, in the SAU Arbrow War that begins at the beginning of season 2, obviously, and then Rostel Elion takes an interest in them and tries to pick them off, hire someone to pick them off at the beginning of season 2, and then it just progresses from there. They McGillis, you forgot to mention McGillis Farid. Farid, who is one of the seven stars of Gallahorn, which is the 7 stars of the 7 families, or the 7 aristocratic families that basically run Gallahorn.
And he wants to rebel.
Yeah, and he wants to rebel against their old ways. And obviously, in his way is Rostel Elion of the Orion Rod Fleet. And yeah, he under him is Kujan, the black guy with the dreads.
Oh yeah,
that idiot face. My God.
Eot Kujan, and he's obviously got his disciple Juliet Juris as well, who both annoy me, but we'll come on to that later. So yeah, so as time goes on, Tekkadan make the shockingly bad, Orga Itsuka, the leader of Tekkadan, makes the shockingly bad decision to back McGillis Farid in his coup, and they get picked off one by one. And obviously Rostel Elion uses some pretty darn underhanded tactics in his quest to obviously pick off Tekkadan and take over Gallahorn so that he may reform it in his image. So yeah, so after that little summary, what do you guys think about like initial impressions of Iron-Blooded Orphans season 1, season 2? How do you feel about it in general?
Lita, you want to start?
No, that's all right. You're welcome to start. I know, I can tell you're itching to talk about it. I know you guys have been very excited to talk about Iron-Blooded Orphans, so I'll let you do the honors first.
Damn. All right. I guess like when I was watching it the first time, as it was airing, I was kind of iffy to see where this was going, because this was a show I wasn't used to, where like you'll have a episode of fighting and then like 3 episodes of straight just character development and conversations where like no action is really happening. So it took time for me to get used to that, and then I think once season 2 hit, I got used to that formula and I appreciated a lot more what they were doing with it. But it really was emotional. It was, especially like Biscuit dying in season 1. Pretty much everybody, yeah, the turbines getting picked off, and then everybody else in Tekkadan, just like, oh my god, it was terrible in a good way, because it got me feeling some type of way. But yeah, and the action was so good whenever they had their scenes. One standout moment is when in season 1 they make it to Earth. They do the atmospheric reentry, and everyone's like trying to make sure Mikazuki survives, and they're not sure if he burned up in the atmosphere with his Gundam, and then all of a sudden he stabs through the mobile suit and just like uses that as like his atmospheric reentry part. That part was so cool.
Oh,
so, yeah.
My heart was stopping at that. Oh my goodness! I'm screaming at the screen like a loony.
That's like one of the most unique atmospheric reentries I've ever seen in Gundam ever. So props to that. But yeah, in general, it's like I really like the designs also for most of the mobile suits, and especially the Gundam frames. Nope. I know you don't like.
Nope. Trash.
I know that it definitely strays away from the traditional Gundam design. They look very, very off from it.
Nah, I'm not a massive fan of Iron-Blooded Orphans from an aesthetic standpoint. Obviously, I understand like if you're talking aesthetically, it's a bit more modern, or I feel like it's a bit more in line with Western mecha design paradigms, like kind of like
yeah.
more slender proportions, exposed machinery, etc.
It's kind of like the hell is it? Pacific Rim almost.
Yeah, almost like kind of also reminds me of, I'm trying to think of some Western mech games. I was gonna say Mega XLR, but not so much. But like you know how I'm talking about, like how the waist, like the midriff of the Gundam frames, kind of like have exposed
Yeah.
machinery.
Yeah, it's like very skinny.
Yeah, very very skinny, more slender. Whereas obviously traditional Gundams aren't as slender. They're more stocky, more square built. Like I'm obviously, as you know, Hajime Kotoki is my favorite mecha designer of all time. So I'm a massive fan of his like robot, like his design aesthetics that he brings to his design. So like more square proportions, less exposed machinery, yeah, more blocky, like a traditional robot, more brawny robot designs. But yeah.
Okay, so ever since that I got into Gundam, I have been like a massive fan of Sunrise. Their ability to create these alternate universes with very strong driven characters mixed with action was something at the time that was really astounding to me. And when it was announced at Iron Blooded Orphans, I was really excited, but then I was worried at the same time that the main characters were really young children.
Yeah.
And of how people would perceive this series. And after watching Iron Blooded Orphans and a lot of nagging from friends for me to watch season 2, which took me forever.
Wow.
I watched season 1 back in 2015 when it was airing, and then it took me about 2 years to watch season 2. I only completed it at the start of this year. Season 2.
Wow.
Yes, that's how far behind I get.
You're only a year behind, not that big of a deal.
You think? Iron Blooded Orphans is definitely defined itself separate from a lot of the other Sunrise Gundam series out there, like from Seed and Destiny. We won't talk about Destiny. Apparently it's a travesty. Iron Blooded Orphans, it was definitely in a much more brutal setting about these children. Well, they're sort of children, nearly adults. It's like they were going through puberty. So
pretty much,
it was definitely set. Yes, it was set in a more brutal setting. Whereas if I think of from back in Gundam Wing, where you just see, like Hero waving guns around and that, in this setting, it's more brutal because these children, from like in season 1 when it's introduced that they were known as human debris, where we have Orga and we have Miyazuki. Miyazuki. I always say his name wrong. We have Orga and Miyazuki, and the rest of them, like Biscuit. So many characters. My God.
There is.
They're at first you can see that they're just known as human debris and treated like trash, and is when they finally when they given the mission to transport Kudelia safely to Earth to for all in the name of Mars becoming its own colony, to be separated from the Earth government, that Mars wanted to be its own country, have its own rights. And it was when it came to the point that the adults, of which was the Christ security, known as, they were just going to abandon the children. They planned to leave them, and you could just see the desperation. And it's like that. It was so powerful to me of how then these kids decided to uprise. That it was the Iron Blooded Orphans made itself known that this was a series about these children want power. And I knew from then it was going to be brutal. And I loved how these the main young cast of characters like Orga and everybody, they just took the reins and they gave the adults the boot, and they created their own Tekketsu. And I didn't see them as kids anymore, like these kids really growing, maturing into adults. Sure, they made a lot of mistakes along the way, but it was definitely about power, gaining power. But because I believe that I'm Blooded Orphans is a very character-driven series.
Yeah, I was gonna come on to that when I gave some, like, I was gonna take the direction in, and the next direction of the conversation, like, we're gonna go on to whether it's plot-driven or character-driven, and then compare and contrast it with Double O. But yeah, continue.
No, I'm happy to move
on. No.
Like,
continue. Just finish off. It's fine.
I honestly could go on forever about I'm, to be honest, but it was all in all, I'm Blood Orphans. Like, I absolutely loved. It's very emotionally driven, definitely with its characters, and that it's definitely a series that anybody who's a non-Gundam mecha fan could easily dive into. They could, because you get attached to these this young character cast. You can't but help. You get through their struggle to not want to be treated as nothing, not as human debris. They want to be treated as equal, and the only thing they can do is rely on each other. And I thought another theme that I'm Blooded Orphans delve into was about family. That it was about Tekketsu was
100%.
Definitely.
I'm sorry, I'm saying all the things you guys want to say.
No, it's fine. So yeah, like
tackling you down.
Like it's
I'm happy.
No, go on.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say I'm happy to delve into the character side of things now. That I believe it is a driven series. Character plot driven series.
Yeah, like you basically covered all the bases, but it's fine. Like there's no like particular structure to our conversation, so like we're a very freewheeling, like go wherever the wind takes us podcast. So that's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. So next I wanted to go on to like whether just wanted to take the conversation in this direction, like whether IBO is like character driven or plot driven, and like how it compares and contrasts to previous different entries in the Gundam franchise. I mean, I'll start this off. I was like, obviously Double O was the last Gundam series I watched before I began I Am Blooded Orphans, and obviously Double O is a very, very like exceptionally plot driven series. And in contrast, like I Am Blooded Orphans is completely different. Like it's the antithesis of Gundam 00. Like it's completely character driven, and I think that's one of its greatest strengths. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of all of the characters. I'll come on to when we talk about the characters individually in a minute. I'll come on to how I'm not a massive fan of Orga, because of his poor decision-making skills, but like it's very character-driven. Most of the characters are very well written. There's a lot of heart there. The way that the character interactions are written is done with extreme detail. Like the romances are well done. Like just all in all, like I Am Blooded Orphans is a very, very good series. A very, very good, solid example of a character-driven anime. So yeah, fives.
I wasn't expecting it to be character driven as I was watching it like weekly. So I said before, it took me a while to get used to, having like one episode of, actual plot and like actual mobile suit battles and stuff, and then, 2 to 3 episodes after that just of everybody just talking and character development. But it definitely excelled in that department.
Yeah, I agree with you. 110%.
It definitely did. And like season 1 had such a simple, straight cut story. Just get Kudeli to Earth. That's literally what it was. And it still succeeded in telling that part of the story as well as developing the characters on the side. I mean, the whole little love triangle with Mikazuki, Atra, and Kudelia.
Oh, God.
It was weird, but hey, they developed it until the very end.
It was a good love triangle. I liked it anyway.
I have a lot
Especially
to say
in that kind of time where like you come from nothing and you know nothing, and all of a sudden you want a kid.
And also like I'm not sure, like it's quite an implicit theme, but like this series like I Am Blooded Orphans like introduced a lot of like tacit things. Yeah, I wasn't going to say polygamy. I was actually going to say polyamory, because if you go to the end, spoiler alert, Kudelia, according to Word of Gods, according to the great creators, Kudelia, Mikazuki, and Atra were in a polyamorous relationship, so they all loved each other. And Atra and Kudelia end up being married and raising Mikazuki's son together. So it was actually Akatsuki. Akatsuki, something like that. So
No.
and also
Just
No.
Mikazuki with blonde hair.
yeah, pretty much. And also I am bloody no, you're not a fan of the romance, no?
When we get to that, I have a lot to say about that. I really do.
And also, if we talk about Norba Shino, and I'm trying to remember the character that's in love with him, they also introduce like elements of bisexuality into I Am Blooded Orphans, which is also like pretty well done. Obviously, it's very tacit and underneath it all, and you have to read between the lines to discern it. But it's very well done. And it's very brave to introduce it into a franchise that's traditionally like very watched by men, basically very straight and male and heteronormative, the fan bases. So yeah, like it's very brave what the creators, I think it's Mario Okada did, what the writer did with Iron Blooded Orphans. So yeah. Sorry.
Oh, going back to, I know you don't like Orga because of his decisions, right?
Yeah, his decision making is trash, but go and continue.
I did like I liked his personality though, like the fact that like he was the glue to like try to like keep everybody together. Tekkadan, the turbines, all of them. Because he's like, oh, it's about family and all that stuff. But yeah, he knew he made some poor decisions in the end when they lost the turbines, especially. So I'd say I kind of agree with you on that part.
I was going to say on Orga, I know that his decision making was best, but I do not believe it deviates away from Orga's personality. The thing that was interesting about Orga is, he felt like he had to take the weight of the world on his shoulders. And especially that came from Miyazuki because, he's like a blank slate. It's like a robot you have to give orders to. The only way he would follow is Orga's way. And I think that definitely affected Orga's poor decisions that he made. But you know what? He didn't know any other way because there was no one there to guide him, really. There wasn't. I mean, he had everyone around him in Tekketen, but he didn't have his own like figure to follow. So, Orga dealt with a lot of things behind the scenes and he never let Mika know about it. He didn't, because, all Mika could do really was, get in the mecha suit and fight. All Orga would have to do is just say, right, you go out there, you fight so and so, and then you come back alive. That was that was pretty much it, honestly.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you would think you'd dislike a character like Mika. You would. I'm just using his nickname. You would think you would dislike, but at the same time, I ended up building this. I did, and I think other people will build this attachment up to him that he learns many new things for himself, coming from where Orga and everybody else did, and
Plus,
you become invested in that. Yes, and that he wanted to be like a farmer and, plant plants and shit.
He had some dreams for himself.
Yeah.
I like Mikazuki, like a lot. As I say, he's one of my favorite Gundam protagonists. He's way better than Setsuna anyway, but that's a different discussion for a different day. And I know Vibes is going to yeah, man, I prefer Mikazuki to Setsuna any day. I like how ruthless Mikazuki is as well. Setsuna,
I'd say Setsuna is definitely more robotic than Miyazuki.
Yeah, Mikazuki has more feeling to him.
Yes, he does. I'll agree with that. I will.
And the whole theme of saying they have to get to that place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that place was heaven.
I don't know where that place was. Maybe it was. Maybe.
I think it was just. I think like the place was just a metaphor for them being like trapped.
For them being king of Mars that bloody Farfried decided to feed them.
I mean, like,
but I guess
not.
It ended up being the metaphor for heaven.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that
Yeah.
too. But like, I guess it was just like they wanted to be trouble free. They wanted to live together as a family, just going about their business every single day, just in peace. Because obviously, as human debris and as child soldiers, all they've ever known is combat, trouble, and strife and pain. And I guess they just wanted to be free of that pain. Obviously, eventually, that because of the writers being dicks, that place where they were free of pain was heaven, and they were no longer on our corporeal plane.
Yes, it ends up being in the pits of
Yeah.
hell by
Well,
the end of the series, which I have a massive beef with.
I'd like to think that they went to heaven. Yeah, I'm massively pissed off that they killed off Mikazuki and Akihiro as well. And Olga to an extent. I mean, Olga dying, he deserves that for making terrible
After,
decisions.
like, everything that happened leading up to it. Like, we knew it was going to happen, and then as soon as he
There were
walks
the-
out in
there
broad
were the
daylight in the
signs.
sunset, yeah, it was quiet.
I just
They even said it.
I thought in a street. Ugh. I thought, can't you at least do it near the
And
base?
they even said, "Hey, where's everybody? It's awfully quiet out." All of a sudden, you get sprayed.
Yeah, Akihiro and Mikazuki get to die in battle. No, Olga dies in his street. That's shitty writing.
I know. But he went out like a boss. He went out like a boss, telling them to keep moving forward.
He did. I cannot lie. I cried
Yeah,
a lot.
Fives, are you sure that wasn't you who killed Olga? I'm sure the guy who killed Olga was wearing Timberlands, to be perfectly honest.
Was wearing what?
Was wearing Tims.
Maybe. I'm not gonna lie. I can't listen to the final ending, that last ending theme of IBO. I think it's called Frisia or something like that. I can't listen to that song because of the amount of characters that died to that song. It's so sad.
Yes, I think it's called Shonen no Hate, or it's called Childhood's End. Such a fitting name for the end of song, really.
Yeah, a very fitting name.
Yes. I do have to mention that most of the opening and ending themes were dope as.
Oh yeah.
Obviously the first one, Man with a Mission.
Raise Your Flag.
Raise Your Flag.
Which is the GOAT Gundam
obviously.
opening of all time. It's my favorite Gundam opening of all time.
I loved Rage of Dust by Spire.
That was
Me
dope.
too. I love Spire. That's my favorite IBO theme.
Your opinions are trash.
No, it's not.
Sorry, it's my favorite above Raise Your Flag. I probably would have another friend that would hate me saying this now. I'm sorry.
Don't ever apologize for your opinion.
No, of course.
On here.
I was only joking. I was just gently ribbing Fives.
Speaking of characters, what was you guys' opinion on Kudelia? Because when it comes to female characters in Gundam, I think the assumption that people build up is they're going to be weak, not bring anything to the story. I won't even talk about Princess Marina Ismail from Double O. She's just freaking useless.
Yeah. She had promise.
Oh no, she did not have promise. All she did was whine about peace. Oh no, there's a war coming. You know, like.
And then she writes that stupid love, not even love letter, just says, "No, you live a painful life. I can't talk."
You can. And then in the final episode, you understand me. Like, I'm sitting there like, I don't understand anything. It's like a failed romance. Lock-on, I thought would have better luck, but no, he didn't in the end.
Oh boy.
Lock-on
almost got everybody killed for some pum pum. It's ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah,
and then
ridiculous.
He had his brother. Oh, I can't get over that. That's had a twin brother in. Hell yeah.
No, yeah, I mean the second. I meant the second lock-on, not the first lock-on. The first lock-on just...
Yeah, the second lock-on. No, the first lock-on.
Yeah, the first lock-on was driven by revenge.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Too many. But in terms of Kudelia, I thought she would, be some half-wit female character. But no, she grows on you in the end. Like, she's naive, like in the first season. Because, and it's second season, you can see what she learned from everything she experienced being with Tekkadan and the bond that she formed with everybody. I love how she is and interacts with all the Tekketsu members. She definitely was stronger in the second season, and I ended up liking her character. She's definitely one of the better characters in Gundam, I will say, from what I've seen so far. But what were your thoughts on Kudelia?
I'll take this one first if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Oh damn.
I don't. Yeah, I actually think Cordelia is not a bad character, as you said. I think she shows like real, genuine, tangible growth over the course of the 2 seasons. At first, yeah, she is just like an annoying, spoiled little rich girl. But as time goes on, she becomes more politically astute and aware of the various political intricacies of the Martian independence movement. She becomes less of obviously a prissy little princess, or not so much a prissy little princess, but one who doesn't really understand how hard it is out there on the street.
No Marina is
yeah, she's no Marina, and she's no Relina Peacecraft. She's no Relina Peacecraft either. Like she
I
doesn't.
thought she was gonna turn into a Relina Peacecraft.
Nah, she doesn't.
And then she did not.
Yeah, because it's
As
pretty hard
Oh,
out
I
there
need
on
to
the...
rewatch Gundam Wing. I really do.
Because it was obviously she like wasn't really aware of how hard the CGS third group had it. Obviously, eventually Tekkeden, but she does eventually become to empathize with them, and you actually see she's a pretty well-rounded character. And obviously, she falls in love with. You gone?
Yeah. No, go.
Obviously, there's her romance with Mikazuki and Atra, and I feel that's pretty well done. And I actually think it's pretty great that at the end of the day, we got some queer representation at the very end with her being married to Atra and raising Atra and Mikazuki's child. So yeah, I think Cordelia is a pretty well done character. She's nothing fantastic, but for a female protagonist, well, not protagonist, but for a female deuteragonist or whatever in a Gundam series, I think she's done pretty well. So yeah, 5s. Sorry about that. Yeah, what are your thoughts on her?
You've all pretty much covered what I was thinking. She really did progress a lot, because I remember in the first few episodes, even like the Tekkeden characters are like, listen, you ain't gonna get royal treatment here or anything. She's like, I'm not expecting it. I want to like get to know. She didn't say she want to get to know you, but she's like, I want to like learn what's going on here, what the whole situation is. And she just like formed this really strong bond with all of them, and it was great. I mean, she started teaching Mikazuki how to read and write. Look at that. That's some good stuff. And then obviously she fell in love with him, and to the point where, after he died in battle, she still had their son to remind her by. So there's that. Even though I still consider him more Atra's kid than Kudelia. So
I can't get. I don't like, in the final clips of the last episode of the second season.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't occur to me that they were married. It really didn't, because I couldn't see it. I honestly couldn't.
I thought they were just both like just raising the kid together and that.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
I just, Atra, doesn't it bother you about her that,
She's so young.
her hair looked like the wool of a sheep? Didn't that bother anybody? I'm just staring at this character design.
She was like
staring at this character.
She looked. I was just gonna say she looked a lot younger than she actually was. But then again, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
How old was she? Wasn't she like 10?
No,
she's like 12.
Yeah, like she's
12.
like a year younger.
12, 13.
Yeah, she's a year younger than Mikazuki.
Yeah, Mikazuki's like 13, 14.
Yeah, so she's a year. Right? She's a year younger than Mikazuki, so she looks like super young. But you know how like, I don't know how true this is, but like Japanese like lolly designs, I guess. Yeah. So yeah,
them lollies, I love them.
Oh, dearie. Yeah.
Like jailbait, really.
Yikes. Yikes.
You guys got any favorites, jailbait?
No.
I do not. I don't look at them like that.
No. My Gundam waifu my Gundam waifu is Sumeragi. So, and she's way older, so
you're just like David. David, if you're listening to this, your Sumeragi apparently tops everywhere.
He told us about his wall scroll.
Yeah. So he has a Sumeragi wall scroll.
I said he should have. I said, man, I said to him in the podcast, why don't you have a bikini? I thought you would have said that, not just over and then. No, it's like, no, it has to be classic. I'm like, not classic crap. Like, oh,
Right.
like, you know, like, come on.
Wait. There's a Sumeragi. There's a wall scroll of Sumeragi in a bikini. Where can I
That's
find?
Yes.
what I think. That's what DJM has.
No. I thought she was fully
No,
dressed.
he's just got the normal uniform.
Yeah, he's got the normal one.
Oh, really? Okay.
In a bikini.
I'll be back in a second. I'm just gonna go and check it and see where I could purchase this bikini clad Sumeragi wall scroll.
Amazon Prime.
Probably. I have Amazon Prime. I'll have a look. But yeah, sorry, Lita. Continue.
No, that's fine. No, and just it was such a shocker regarding the baby. Okay, I could see obviously Archer was going to end up being with Mika, and then Cordelia was, is going to be having a side love. They, I could see obviously, they all loved each other and blah blah blah. But the kid, I was like, oh, okay, this takes the biscuit. This
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there.
Biscuit.
The biscuit died. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Don't make me cry.
I'm terrible at puns, and I actually did one right for once.
Was good.
When I saw Akatsuki at the end, I was like, oh, I guess she did have the kid then. She talked about wanting a kid, but I was like, oh, I guess she went through with it.
Which means that
it's such a beautiful.
Which means
child.
that Mikazuki must have been connected, because obviously we didn't mention that Mikazuki loses physical function.
Yes.
Using the Ayana. Was it Ayana?
Ayana Vijana.
Yeah, Ayana Vijana system. So like when Mikazuki was all up in them guts, he must have been connected to Barbatos. So they must have done it in the cockpit or something like that.
He had to have been.
Which is kind of gross. I mean, look how cramped it is in there.
Speaking of Barbatos, oh yes. Speaking of Barbatos, remember the episode where it goes AWOL? It's like it's like a creature all on its own, like bloodlust. I loved that scene.
Hell yeah,
I loved it. I'm like, why didn't you do this sooner?
It puts a new spin on the White Devil, as Gundams are always referred to.
I personally love the design for Barbatos. I personally did.
Yeah, I liked them. I honestly preferred the Vidar and the Bale. Like, I love those two suits a lot.
Oh yes, definitely.
And this is not in the anime, but the Astaroth origin is also from IBO.
Yeah, boy. Gundam Astaroth and Astaroth Renascimento are my favorite Gundams in IBO, other than Barbatos Lupus.
Yeah.
Barbatos Lupus Rex is trash, but yeah. And it's Elea Vinyana system.
Elea Vinyana. Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't think I've ever heard anyone pronounce it right.
Elea Vinyana system. I just looked.
Pronounce it right.
I looked it up on.
Pronounce it as I read it.
I looked it up on Gundam Wiki just a moment ago. So yeah.
It says how to pronounce it.
Yeah, Elea Vinyana system.
Oh, perfect.
Elea Vinyana system. So yeah, like, have you guys got anything more? Any final thoughts about IBO? I think we've been recording for a while now, so maybe we should wrap it up.
I got nothing left to say. I mean, I just recommend watching it. It's something different out of Gundam itself. It's something, if you're looking for a little out of the ordinary, I'd say watch this.
I just wanted to add about the romance side of things. I have to address about Akihira and Lafida.
Oh,
that devastated me.
When she got murdered.
She was cut off. I loved her.
I loved Akihiro as well.
I know.
Akihiro was awesome.
I loved him wanting to get revenge. Was it revenge for? I think because I haven't watched it for so long. Revenge for his brother.
His brother.
Yes. His brother was one of the brewers. He was one of the pirates.
Yeah. I loved how he's so brutish, but at the same time he's so just a normal shy guy around women. It's just that definitely part in Iron Blood Orphans devastated me when Lafida was cut off. And
those last few episodes were just like, oh my god.
Yeah, she dies in
They
Court.
are. Oh my god, in your face.
And that final battle when Tekkadan lost. Oh man, it was good, but it was heartbreaking.
It was
because like they literally fought to the very end till like they just like couldn't move, and then boom, they're all dead.
I think the most senior member of Tekkadan that survives is Eugene, isn't he? Isn't it? Like, he's the only major one that he's dope, man. He's super dope.
Mm. He's awesome. I love that he ends up with being alongside Kudelia. I liked how that ended up. That was good. I a lot of the time a character that made me laugh was Miguelius Farfried and his attempts to. I saw him as a spoilt child who wanted power
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
and was just abused and would try every trick in the book. I just thought his attempts at getting there were just so laughable, really.
I
Every time
really
he
thought he
came
was
on the screen.
I thought he
Oh,
was gonna
sorry,
turn
go
on
on.
everybody at one point. Like
Yeah, I thought he wasn't going to
Early on.
uphold his end of the bargain for Tekkadan.
Yeah. It's just
I
the way
really
he
thought.
spoke too, his voice. I guess it's because of his voice acting, the way he like delivered the lines. Oh, this guy's a little sus.
Yes.
Just out of interest, did you guys watch Iron Blooded Orphans? Did you watch the Japanese dub with subtitles, or did you watch the English dub?
The Japanese dub. I never watched the English dub. I've only seen
I watched-
scenes of the English, but never
Yeah,
watched
I
them
saw the
again like that.
Japanese. I've listened to a little bit of the English. I have. I thought the English was fine, but I mainly watched it in. I love the Japanese version more, to be honest.
Me too.
Um,
I just had to listen to my boy Johnny Young Bosch voice Orga real quick. That's it.
Yeah, I primarily watched the
he was-
English dub.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure as if you've listened to Buildcasters before, you'll know that
You watch English dub.
I primarily watch English dubs of anime. Like I'm a anime, like I'm a massive otaku. Like I'm a massive weeb. Like I mean, even I'll probably talk to Lita about this like off the podcast. But like or if you see my anime list, like I'm not just into Gundam. Me getting into Gundam is a recent phenomena. Like I'm a massive weeb, but I've always watched dubs, always like since I was a child. Because obviously I grew up with I'm of the Toonami generation. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we all are here, right?
I can't be associated with weeb trash, so this is when I leave people.
Like
I don't know what you guys are talking about because the manga was a lot better.
Like Lita and Fives, what do you guys prefer, subs or dubs? Just generally when watching anime.
For me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like whatever is available, as long as it's still like it doesn't like deviate from, I guess, the Japanese version. You know, because you know how a lot of American dubs used to be back in the day. It used to be their own story almost. You know,
especially those 4Kids dubs, kids.
Yeah, exactly,
man. 4Kids dubs were
So,
awesome.
If it's
like,
just,
there's one. Yeah, sorry, go on.
If it sticks to like close to what the Japanese script is doing, then yeah, it's fine with me.
Cool. You go on, Lita?
I'm like, I went before because this is such a commonly asked question, and I think it always depends on the series. For an example, nostalgia talking here, Sailor Moon. I love the 4Kids dub, the the old North American dub for the particular actors and how they portrayed the characters. When it was brought that a new dub was, announced around in 2015 or 2014 for Sailor Moon, I couldn't get behind the English. It wasn't the voice actors that were chosen, just the voices. I did not feel fit the personas of the Sailor Scouts. But all the exception is Sailor Jupiter's voice actor, which is Amanda Miller. She freaking kicks ass on that one, definitely. But I feel like, for example, like the new Sailor Moon dub for like Sailor Moon goes with Sailor Moon Crystal for like the newer generation of anime fans who maybe will only get into Sailor Moon now. So, this is, like I said, nostalgia talking, but sometimes depending on my mood, I will either feel lazy that I don't want to read subtitles, or there'll be a particular series somebody has said, oh, you should watch it in the English dub, because particular favorite voice actors I think do override subs.
Yeah, of course.
In terms of who is portraying what character. Like, for example, I love Lucy Christian as Kaname from Full Metal Panic. I absolutely love her performance of her. So anything that she's in, I will instantly watch it, no matter what it is. So, I think it's good having both representations. Neither is better, to be honest, because it's all about personal preference. That's just what I think about subs and dubs. But a lot of weebs, they'd be like, no, no dubs, all subs. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I mean, like, for example,
They don't even watch the anime.
Yeah, just read the manga.
I know.
Yeah, just read the manga. It was better.
It's way better, man.
Yeah. I know a group called Dub Talk, and they cover all the English dubs of various different animes.
Sorry.
And it's very interesting,
That's
and it will
pretty cool,
definitely
actually.
would change you should subscribe to them. It's very interesting how detailed they go into all the actors and the performance of series. I think they've covered Iron Blooded Orphans.
1 second, repeat.
I think they have.
Repeat that name again, because you cut out when you said it. What are they called? Dub what?
I said Dub Talk.
Dub Talk. Okay,
they're
cool.
called.
Is it like a podcast or a YouTube channel or something?
Yeah, they're a YouTube channel,
Okay.
but they upload podcasts. They do.
I'm gonna subscribe as soon as I finish recording. So, just guys, give a couple sentences, final thoughts of Iron Blooded Orphans, and then we're gonna get into these sexy little Twitter questions.
Oh, I forgot about questions, man. Oh my
I forgot
god.
about the Twitter questions.
Jeez, I have nothing else left to say about IBO. I said my piece on it.
I guess my final thoughts are that it's Iron Blooded Orphans is definitely nothing like any of the other Gundam series because of its really younger focus cast. It's not just about these. It's really about not just these children that want power. It's definitely set in a more brutal setting than say like Gundam Wing for its era, and that you really become invested in these like the young pilots and just their fight of survival. And it's just shown in such a really refreshing way for this new generation, and that's why it's so perfect for newer fans to get into. And just to correct you, you mentioned about who was Shino in love with. It's Yamagi. I love that. It was surprising. It was surprising that they brought in a bit of LGBT in there, that they were in love, and I supported it. I could see it. I thought that was really sweet, even though that was really short-lived, sadly, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, Iron Blooded Orphans, it's the bomb. You just need to watch it. You do.
The bonds of family.
The bomb. It is. It's about family. Bro family.
And desperation and brutality.
Oh, yeah.
Iron Blooded Orphans is undoubtedly within my top 3 Gundam series from what entries in the Gundam franchise from what I've watched so far. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I mean, it's the complete like antithesis of a traditional Gundam series, and I think that's what its greatest strength is, like being so character driven, actually taking breathing breaks from mecha fights to focus on character development. I think that was one of its greatest strengths.
Yeah.
The deaths at the end of the series are one of my biggest pet peeves about it. I feel that Mikazuki I understand why the writers had him perish, but I don't think his death was necessary. I also don't think Akihiro's death was necessary either. Neither of them needed to die to prove the point. Neither of them needed to die for the greater good. It was an exercise in futility. It was a complete and utter exercise in futility. With regards to with regards to like the political elements and the political intrigue and the Martian independence movement, I also thought that was quite topical at this moment in time, especially with obviously we're in the post-Arab Spring world, and obviously you've got like conflicts in Syria, for example, and obviously we've had conflicts in Libya.
I like that it was similar to Double O.
Yeah,
that it was set in this definitely modern day era.
Yeah, like a lot of the political themes that were underlying from Iron Blooded Orphans like resonated within our current political landscape. And I also feel like I got certain like anti-colonial, anti-imperialist themes, especially the way in which Krize and like the whole Martian Union eventually got its independence from the Earth blocks. So I like that. I also like the romances. The Yamagi, obviously the Yamagi and Norba Shino romance, that was pretty good. And when Shino actually cottoned on, like obviously he initially saw Yamagi as a brother, but when he cottoned on to Yamagi's feelings, obviously he said, "Oh yeah, why don't we go out treating? Why don't we go out for a drink after the battle?" Obviously he never comes back from the battle, but it shows that he like slightly.
You're just recollecting it all in your brain right now.
He like
destroyed.
Yeah, he basically reciprocates his feelings, so that was nice to see like some queer representation there. Obviously we had queer representation with Cordelia and Atra as well, so that was pretty cool. I like how it deviates from the norm of a Gundam series, and I also all in all, Iron Blooded Orphans is a great series. It's just a great anime in general, and it probably sent Slash shippers into into a frenzy. So yeah, all in all, great into overdrive. So yeah, all in all, great Gundam series.
One thing you guys didn't mention, I'm surprised you didn't mention it, is that there's a teaser for a new project.
Yes, I saw that, and it looks like a redesigned Barbatos.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm curious about what this is going to entail.
You think it's going to be like the Calamity War version of
it? Could be
Barbatos.
Maybe they didn't die.
But apparently
maybe they didn't die.
Apparently they've hired a new mecha designers for it, like a couple new mecha designers. And also, what was I going to say? Who's that character who murders? There's a character at the end from Tekketsu who murders is Nobliss Gordon.
The guy sitting on
Ryder.
Ryder. Yeah, Ryder. Yeah. He murders because obviously Nobliss ordered Laughter to be murdered. So obviously Nobliss was funding Teiwa's.
He was and he was full of revenge for a lot of majority of season 2.
Yeah, so obviously so the fact that Ryder, like I would like him to be the new pilot of the Barbatos, that would be pretty cool. And like him to take revenge, like kind of like a Kill Bill-esque revenge story. But with Gundams, that would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet. No?
How'd you feel about him shooting the guy in the toilet?
How'd I feel about him shooting the guy in the toilet?
I thought that was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I couldn't stop laughing.
It was pretty good how he paid off the Nobliss Gordon's bodyguard team as well.
Yeah. You're right.
But yeah, all in all, IBO was great. Like it was a great Gundam series. Do I think it's better than 00? I think it's too different to compare and contrast them directly. Like it's massively
apples
different.
And oranges.
Yeah, it's like apples and oranges.
Because they both all have their own redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do.
Exactly.
They all do. So what we're going to get onto next is the Twitter questions. So the first question we have is from Planet Scott, which is at Mecha Anime Review.
Oh, it's Scott.
Indeed, it is.
I did ask a question. Sorry, this is my friend, blogger Scott.
Ah.
As you can see by the title, he is a mecha crazy. He is just like you guys.
So his question is, so he says, so you got that nerd joining you, love you, Lita. How do you feel about characters being named after food? Which is kind of a weird question, but sure, go ahead.
I'm glad he was going to bring that up. A cookie biscuit.
Yeah.
So it is relevant. I just realised.
Yeah, I think it's a hilarious concept. To be honest,
it's very Gundam to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Gundam's known for its weird names. So yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Let's not talk about the 00 ones.
Like you'll have a normal like first name or last name, and then like random name you just picked out a hat because you thought it sounded like it was cool.
Surprised they didn't have like a character called like Peanut. Could have seen that and I'm put it off.
You never know. There might be a character in the future.
That wouldn't have been unusual.
True.
I think it fits in with the show anyway, to be perfectly honest. Like it's not that abnormal. At the end of the day, the characters are Martians.
Mm-hmm.
The central cast are from Mars. So yeah.
Exactly.
This should have been a Peanut.
So yeah, next question. This is from Kenny at Sakoku_otaku. And he says, is Iron Blooded Orphans a show you would recommend watching while exercising? How motivating are the action sequences and how risque can it get?
Hell to the yeah.
Yeah, I'd say we answered this.
Yeah, I think you could probably watch Iron Blood Dolphins when exercising.
Yeah.
There's
Oh
no
my god.
there's no problem with that.
That
Oh, speaking of that,
I am
sorry.
I exercised to this show.
Really, no way, cool.
I did. For some of it.
Um,
So yes, you can.
Speaking of exercising while watching anime, Grant the Thief, who is a friend of the show, he has something called that he has a hashtag called AniFitter, where he'll like watch anime and like tweet what he's watching and tweet the routine that he's doing. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And obviously I take my phone to the gym sometimes. When I'm by myself, I'll do some cardio and I'll watch anime. So thanks to Grant for inspiring that. So yeah, cool. And then the next question from Gero the Hero at Gero underscore hero. Giro, sorry.
I call him Giro, but everyone calls him Giro.
Okay, cool. Do you think Rostow looks like a discount version of Doctor Strange?
Yes, he does. He definitely does.
Oh, I wondered what question he was going to ask. I really did.
Yes, he definitely does. Like, no question. No, yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And he's got another question. Who was disappointed that Mika picked Atra over Cordelia?
I'm indifferent. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't really seem to care that much.
I probably, if I was Mikazuki, I probably would have picked Cordelia over the simple fact that she doesn't look like a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jiro knows how I feel about this. That he should have picked Cordelia.
He should have done.
He just, yeah. Nothing more to say on that, really.
Oh, dearie me. So, that's been a great episode. Basically, that's the end of the Twitter questions. Lita, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're working on at the moment and where people can find you on the Twitter and on YouTubes?
Let's see. Things I'm working on. Just put up a blog update at the state of my blog. So I have bunch of manga stuff coming, and I'm currently working on a discussion piece on Aquarion. I just finished the first season of Aquarion, and I'm hoping, and for the rest of the year, I said in my video I was going to focus on older content of anime and also posts I've not gotten around to writing, which has been like they're overdue, like by a year. But honestly, where you can find me, because I just do a whole bunch of different things. I have my YouTube, which is just Lita Kino. I guess you can follow me on Twitter, which is at Kino Reviews with a capital K and just a lowercase r. I'm pretty active on Instagram, which is obest. It was supposed to be obsessed nerdy J, but I spelt it wrong, so it's obest nerdy J. No capitals. And I've got the Senshiani Girls podcast, which is just Senshiani Girls, the podcast. You can definitely follow me on the Owls bloggers, which I do all the updates on there. You follow me on my blog at Lita Kina Anime Corner, and honestly, that's where you can follow me. I'm pretty mostly active on Twitter and Instagram mostly, but yes, so.
That's a lot. You do way more than me and Fives do. Way more.
You're very, very involved.
Oh, yes. I think I'm too involved, what everybody says.
You can never be too involved in the weeb shit. I promise you.
It's all
Never.
time management.
Yes. It's like, let's not talk about the collaborations that I have in the works right now as well. Let's just not talk about those.
Oh, boy. Can you not drop us a little hint or something? Give us a little exclusive.
Okay. So I have a podcast that I'm currently editing right now that I did with a certain blogger friend. It was more like an interview, so I have that coming up on my YouTube. I do, and I have a couple of blog collaborations planned. I do as well. One is a mecha one. So it might be Gundam related.
Wonder what that could be.
Rubbing my hands together.
It's all right. I'll let you guys know about it, definitely.
For sure.
Don't worry. It might be a post all about how I can't get over that Atra had the baby.
That's so funny.
That is, yeah, that's a lot. So yeah.
All right.
All right. So as usual, you can find my dashingly handsome self at the Macabre Chap. You can find us. You can find us over at Buildcasters on Twitter. And obviously I'm the Macabre Chap on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find Fives. Tell them, Fives, where they can find you.
You can find me at Sentai5 on Twitter and Instagram. I have a new Instagram right now that I just restarted. And I'm also on YouTube as Sentai5 Official.
Which is a massive channel.
And-
You've got like over 10,000 subscribers. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I checked the other day. I
Oh
was
my
like, I'm up
goodness.
to like 80,000.
You've got 80,000 subscribers.
Crazy.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my god, why am I not subbed to your channel? I need to change this.
If you like Power Ranger videos, that's what I'm there for.
Sentai 5 has one of, I mean, like, it's a little known fact. I'm going to obviously big him up. Like, Sentai 5 has one of, if not the biggest channels in the Power Rangers / Tokusatsu fandom. So, yeah.
And I
Oh
had no
my
idea.
goodness.
Apparently.
Yeah, he
It's like my
Do
third
you
channel
just-
I've gone through.
Wow, have you covered? So are you just covering like the regular Power Rangers as the Sentai, like Japanese?
I make like my own fan videos, so that's like what I'm like really into, like video editing.
Oh,
So,
I must witness this.
and he does it
Yeah,
all with iMovie. Like, dude's a genius.
Yeah.
Real
I
talk.
don't use any. I wish I had higher quality programs to use, but they're too expensive.
You can get Final Cut Pro. I mean, like, I'll send you a link to Final Cut Pro later. That you don't have.
Oh, with like the key crack and everything.
Yeah. I'll sort you.
Oh, perfect.
Arr!
I need Final Cut Pro.
What's a pirate?
Arr!
Would you say there's no such thing as a pirate?
I mean, like, I'm
No.
driving my Crossbone Gundam right now. I'm definitely not a pirate. Oh, and you can.
No, we're all not pirates here. No.
No, I'm definitely not doing anything illegal. And you can also find me and the boys from the Legion of Boom on Twitter at Legion of Boom. That's LEG10N of Boom. You can find us on Instagram as well and on YouTube. So that's the end of the episode.
And SoundCloud.
Oh, and SoundCloud and the SoundCloud as well. //Legion of SoundCloud.com/Legion of Boom. So yeah, that concludes our Iron-Blooded Orphans or Iron-Blooded Bumboclaat episode that I like to say. And so that's it.
Glad it's great.
Oh,
It's
right.
fucking great. So yeah, Buildcasters out.
Billcasters out.
Peace.
Yes.
Battle.
Bye.
Battle
Battle
ended.
Battle ended.